The nursing home industry employs roughly 2 million workers who provide round-the-clock care and assistance to chronically ill and disabled individuals. As a staff member, you're exposed to numerous health and safety issues. These include lifting, slips and falls, blood-borne diseases, and biological hazards. You may also be exposed to hazards associated with electrical equipment, chemicals, and even workplace violence. The goal of this video is to increase your awareness of hazards in your nursing facility and to help you protect yourself. Your safety is important to all of us. We provide care for those who need help with daily living activities. A quality nursing facility offers personal, dietary, therapeutic, social, recreational, and nursing services. Meals, laundry, housekeeping, and medical services are provided. A variety of jobs need to be done, and each has potential hazards. You need to be aware of the hazards that you may encounter in your department. Please remember that all employee injuries and illnesses must be reported immediately to your supervisor. Many of our jobs require lifting. Residents are dependent on staff to provide for their activities of daily living. These activities involve handling or transferring residents and could result in injury to yourself or fellow employees. Typically, residents will be lifted when transferring between bed and wheelchair, transferring from wheelchair to toilet or shower chair, and weighing. Moving residents is unlike lifting done in most jobs. The resident may actively resist being moved. Moving a person who has limited ability to assist has caused back pain and employee injury. Back, shoulder, and neck injuries occur because of overexertion caused by lifting alone without adequate help, trying to stop a resident from falling or lifting the resident up from the floor or bed, multiple lifts per shift, lifting an unwilling or unable resident, lifting residents who cannot support their own weight, employees attempting to perform work beyond their physical capabilities, awkward postures required by the activity, ineffective training of employees in body mechanics and proper lifting techniques, distance to be moved, for example, placing the wheelchair next to the bed provides a safer lift, distance of the resident from the healthcare worker. There is less risk of injury if the resident is kept closer to the body of the person performing the lift. Injuries caused during resident handling can be prevented primarily by proper selection of equipment, effective use of assistive devices, and by using safer work methods such as gait belts and wheel locks. Mechanical lift equipment helps transfer residents who cannot support their own weight. Lift equipment can be categorized into two main types: sling-type full lift, lean stand, assist lift. Another device that can help prevent injuries is the height-adjustable bed, which can be manual or electric. These beds have height controls to allow for easy transfers from bed height to wheelchair height. These beds can be kept low to the ground for resident safety and then raised to assist in resident care and transfers. For bathing residents, shower chairs with locking wheels are used. Residents also may be bathed in specially designed tubs where lifting is not necessary. Excessive reaching, pushing, and/or lifting wet, heavy laundry can cause back and shoulder strains. Soiled linen bags must not be overfilled. Laundry staff must use proper lifting techniques and the available equipment such as spring-loaded laundry carts to avoid awkward lifting. To avoid injury, you should also fill and empty washers and dryers in small amounts. Face and lift the load, keeping the item close to the body. Organize your work area to avoid lifting, reaching, or working above shoulder height. Frequent extended reaches for supplies or heavy containers can cause back and shoulder injuries. Using height-appropriate workspaces for the task being performed enables staff to keep elbows close to the body and will help prevent some of these injuries. When lifting, face and lift the load, keeping the item close to the body. While mopping, move the mop side to side to avoid twisting. When vacuuming, keep the cord directly behind you to avoid twisting. Organize cleaning carts to avoid lifting and reaching over the cart. Health workers need to be aware of many biological and infectious agents, including viruses, bacteria, parasites, and fungi that can be transmitted by contact with people or things. There are a variety of possible ways to be exposed to these agents. They include needles or lancets on the bed or bedside table, needles in the laundry, blood splashed in the eye, cleaning up blood or urine spills, cleaning toilets, handling soiled linen, and cleaning isolation rooms. Tuberculosis, commonly known as TB, is caused by bacteria. It is spread when a person with TB disease coughs, speaks, sings, or sneezes. If a physician suspects a case of infectious TB, the resident will be masked and isolated until they are transferred out of the facility. The Department of Public Health requires staff and residents to be tested for TB each year. To help prevent the spread of blood-borne disease, OSHA issues rules for nursing facilities to follow. These rules are listed in OSHA's Blood-Borne Pathogen Standard and are available at your facility. We require several measures to reduce your chance of being exposed to a blood-borne disease. Protect yourself by using universal or standard precautions. These precautions treat all blood and most body fluids as if they were known to be infectious. In other words, whether or not you think the blood or body fluid is infected, you treat it as if it is infectious. Standard precautions are used to reduce the risk of transmission of microorganisms which may cause infection. Standard precautions include the use of hand washing and personal protective equipment to minimize exposure to body fluids. Nursing staff may be exposed to blood-borne pathogens while giving injections or cleaning wounds. We use safer needle devices to prevent needle sticks. These safer devices protect all staff from being stuck with contaminated needles. In addition, a program to immunize employees for hepatitis B is available. If you do come into contact with blood, you should wash the exposed area with soap and water or an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Report this contact to your supervisor immediately and make sure you get proper medical attention. All needles, lancets, broken contaminated glass, and other contaminated sharp objects must be discarded in a closable, puncture-resistant, leak-proof, red, or biohazard-labeled container. Here's a sharps container that is properly labeled. Do not fill these containers above the fill line. Other biological and infectious materials are placed in biohazard waste containers. Wear personal protective equipment such as gloves. Gloves will help protect you if you have hangnails, small cuts, or chapped skin. Use the peel and tuck method to remove gloves. First, remove the glove by pinching the glove on the outside, pulling the glove down over your hand, turning it inside out. Place the used glove in your gloved hand. Then, with your bare hand, take the index finger and slide it under the cuff of the remaining glove, turning it inside out over the other glove. Touching only the inside of the glove, continue to pull the glove off the fingers. Place the used gloves into a waste receptacle. Proper hand washing is one of the most effective ways of controlling infection. Wash your hands after removing gloves and other personal protective equipment, handling resident personal care equipment, before and after handling food or eating utensils, personal toileting, assisting residents with personal care. When washing your hands, follow this procedure. Turn on the water so the temperature is lukewarm. Wet your hands thoroughly, holding them down from the wrist. Put enough soap on your hands to create lather. Rub your hands back and forth to create friction. Do not forget the backs of your hands, nails, and your wrists. Wash your fingers by spreading them wide and interlocking the fingers of both hands and rubbing together. Lather for a minimum of 15 seconds. Rinse thoroughly. Use paper towels to dry your hands thoroughly. Discard the paper towels in the wastebasket. Take a clean paper towel and turn off the water faucets. Discard the paper towel in the wastebasket. Slips, trips, and falls present another area of concern. Wet floors and clutter can lead to slips, falls, and injuries. Housekeeping staff will only mop half of the corridor at a time and will post wet floor signs. Housekeeping should post signs when there is any wet surface, such as wet floor or carpet. Do not walk on the wet surface until it's dry. It is everyone's responsibility to see that spills are cleaned up. In the corridors, look out for other slipping and tripping hazards such as loose or torn carpeting, torn linoleum, loose thresholds, and spills. Do not leave the hazard unattended. Get help and report the problem to your supervisor immediately. Wear proper fitting shoes to avoid slips, trips, and falls. Avoid wearing open-toed shoes. Use a ladder to climb. Do not use chairs. Chairs are not designed for standing on, and you may fall. Before using a ladder, inspect it to make sure the steps are not slippery and that the ladder is not broken. When climbing, face the ladder and always make sure that there are 3 points of contact: 2 hands, 1 foot, or 2 feet, and 1 hand. Contact with electricity can result in electric shock, burns, and even death. This contact can occur from using damaged receptacles and cords, ungrounded electrical devices, equipment, and machinery. An electrical cord may be damaged by door or window edges, by staples and fastenings, by equipment rolling over it, or simply by aging. Use power strips to eliminate the need for multiple extension cords. Using extension cords is not recommended. Some electrical cords come with a 3-prong plug. The 3rd prong must not be removed because it provides protection from electrical shock. Make certain the 3rd prong on the cord is in place before using the cord. Staff using equipment with a cord and plug must inspect the equipment before using it. Do not use defective equipment. Remove it from service. Contact your supervisor to get it repaired or replaced. The Ground Fault Circuit Interrupter, or GFCI, is a fast-acting circuit breaker designed to shut off electric power and prevent injury to the worker. GFCIs are installed on all receptacles in wet areas and on electrical outlet boxes that are used outside. Staff uses a variety of equipment in nursing facilities. Much of the equipment you will use will have guards in place to protect you from getting injured. Getting caught in this equipment can cause serious injury and could result in the loss of a finger, hand, or limb. Meat slicers have guards to prevent your hand from being cut. These guards must never be removed. Report any defective equipment to your supervisor so that the equipment can be tagged and removed from service. Employee injuries may also occur during servicing or maintenance of machines or equipment. Before service or maintenance is performed, the machines or equipment must be turned off and disconnected from the energy source, and locked out or tagged out procedures must be followed. Only authorized employees may use locks to lock out equipment. If you see a lock on a piece of equipment, it means it's being worked on, and you should not use the equipment or remove the lock. To do so may result in injury to yourself or fellow employees. The maintenance department will make certain that all guards are in place after every repair is completed by the maintenance staff and outside contractors. Nursing facilities use a number of chemicals. For example, staff use hazardous cleaning chemicals in the laundry and housekeeping areas. All hazardous chemicals, such as paints, adhesives, pesticides, and solvents, must be kept away from residents. Never mix chemicals together unless you have been trained to do so. Incompatible chemicals can cause serious injury. Cleaning agents and disinfectants can cause skin, eye, and nose irritations. Drain cleaners, oven cleaners, and grill cleaners can be caustic solutions that can cause skin burns and eye and skin irritations. Exposure to hazardous chemicals may occur while doing cleaning and maintenance work. OSHA requires that nursing facilities train staff on hazardous chemicals in the workplace, attach warning labels to all hazardous chemicals, and have material safety data sheets, MSDSs, available. All hazardous chemicals, such as those found in some soaps, disinfectants, and pesticides, must be clearly labeled as hazardous. Every container must have a label. If you transfer a chemical from the original container into a second container, that second container also must be labeled. The chemical supplier provides a material safety data sheet, commonly called MSDS. These sheets list important information about the chemical, such as the health hazards, and what type of personal protective equipment you should use when working with the chemical. Always wear gloves and goggles when handling hazardous cleaning agents and chemicals. Eye wash is provided for immediate emergency use where necessary. Make sure that you're familiar with its location and use. Violence to the staff can occur when dealing with combative, disoriented, or uncooperative residents. You can't always prevent violence because it can be unpredictable. You can, however, reduce the risk by planning ahead and being prepared to act swiftly at an early stage. Training is a critical component of any prevention strategy for staff, supervisors, and other employees. Training includes an understanding of the facility's workplace violence policy and program, the requirement to report all incidents, ways of preventing or diffusing volatile situations or aggressive behavior, conflict resolution, how to recognize and deal with hostile aggressive persons using nonviolent responses, how to manage anger, techniques and skills to resolve conflicts, stress management, security procedures, and personal security measures and self-defense. You can make a difference. Together, we can establish a safety culture that acknowledges the value of safety and health. That's the only way to significantly reduce injuries and illnesses in the workplace. Information provided in this video was developed in a cooperative effort among the Life Services Network, the Illinois On-Site Safety and Health Consultation Program, DCCA, and OSHA's Region 5 area offices. By following the work practices demonstrated in this video, along with management's commitment to assure a safe workplace, you can help eliminate accidents. This will help you and your fellow employees stay injury-free. In addition to videos like this one, we offer no-cost safety and industrial hygiene services to any requesting Illinois employer. This program is funded 90% by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. The purpose of our program is to help make your workplace safer by identifying and offering solutions to correct hazards. For more information, call 1-800-972-4216.